All right, starting the day. Buongiorno. All right, I'm thinking to wear my hair up and maybe I'll let it down a little bit when I get out in Madrid. I'm gonna go explore myself. Eric's gonna take me to the metro and I'm gonna go find some gluten-free and just get this chance to kind of move my body, get out in the city. Trying to navigate the next legs of my trip. I haven't quite yet decided. By Monday, I have to be back in Rome. So I will hang out with my girlfriend there and I'm excited about that. But it's kind of like a little uncertainty at the moment as I decide, what shall I do? That's gonna be fun for me. I'd like to do like a resort place and just get pampered for a few days, a couple days maybe even. All right, time to go.
All right, I am navigating my way to the metro from Eric's, and I'm usually pretty good about finding my way and meeting new people. I'm like a chameleon, and I love my friend for being as concerned and are you sure if you need anything. He's just wonderful for all of that. Like, I get it. And then at the same time, I'm like, okay, I'll be okay. You know, if I need something, I will ask. So Eric was annoyed with me for videoing him, and I said, don't worry about it. I won't video you anymore, but this is my trip, and I am here documenting it. And, he knows that I love him and that I care about him. And I told him, I said, I just want you to be happy, and I see where you can make improvements if you're willing. And I say, it's really, really important. The energy you're emitting comes from the thoughts that you're thinking, from the behaviors. All of what you do and think about yourself this place is inviting, gets translated into the people in your lives. So the message that came in this morning, sorry for the noise, the message that I received first thing upon waking up because of the conversations I was having with Eric last night was essentially, and this is like obvious, but most people won't get it, that it's not about the relationships you have with others. All they do is mirror and show you the relationship you have with you. It's always going to go back to you. You attract where you're at, so wherever you are feeling neglected by others, it's because you're neglecting yourself. You feel rejected by others, it's because you're rejecting yourself. If you are feeling taken advantage of by others, that's also about you taking advantage and not acknowledging and owning that shit. And as I expressed to him, I said, if you don't own your shit, it will own you. And so you can't play the victim to saying that it's being done to you or that people are behaving a certain way towards you, because you're giving them permission for the way they behave around you and towards you and with you, because they're just simply, boundaries. You don't have boundaries. They don't see it as a boundary. They just they see it as how you've allowed them to treat you and you've accepted it. And then when you start saying, I don't like this, well, you've been accepting it all this time. So what's the problem? You're the one that creates the conflict, not them. You've just established what is acceptable. And then the moment you start changing and saying that's not acceptable, they freak out because they're like, wait a minute here, what's the problem? You've always been like that. Now what's different? So that's about you, not the other. The other is simply mirroring what you've been willing to accept, and they're teaching you where you need to course correct. If you don't like the way someone treats you, go within and acknowledge, how are you treating yourself? You can do better. And you deserve better. Don't blame others, because that's disempowering and that's playing the victim. You are the one who creates your reality. You are the one that allows and draws, magnetizes to you exactly where you are energetically. So if you want someone to treat you a certain way, you need to act that way. You need to treat yourself in that loving manner. All right, time for me to get on the metro. Eric gave me, I got my metro card, and we're gonna go check things out. I'm so excited. And I can move a little quicker too. God bless him. I don't know, I couldn't handle not having my legs. And I am a mover and a shaker. So I am very grateful to my body, and you should be too. Treat your body like a temple. It's sacred. It is not an amusement park. Now, most of us, when we're young, we treat it like a playground that maybe we get a little bit out of hand. And then when you become an adult, it's like, oh, I'm so achy. Well, it's cumulative. Just acknowledge that. All right, line 1. That's 6. I have to go to line 1. This is actually pretty easy to navigate. 1 goes this direction. You just keep moving. Move those feet, move that body. Woo-hoo. That way. Look straight ahead. Yep, we're going the right direction. And now I love those escalators. This is smooth sailing, I'm telling you. When you get in a rhythm and a flow, that's the way life should be. Just feel your body into it. You know, your body is feeling the energies. It'll gravitate toward what it needs. A lot of times, you could even, what people don't realize, kinesiology. The wind from the train. So kinesiology, you can use your body to give you your truth. Literally holding something to your solar plexus and asking, does this resonate with my body? Will this help it? Will it heal it? And you'll know just by kind of like leaning in. You got to feel into every sensation of your body. But your body will get weak when it's not meant for you, and it'll get strong when it is meant for you. So even just like, you know, do I want to go this way or that way? Where does your body take you? Not your mind. That's the relearning, the reconditioning. See, we're in a retime. We've got 6 planets retrograde at the moment. Right now it's about partnership, it's about relationships, and most people are learning to acknowledge that some relationships have outgrown their time. They're past their expiration time. I was having that conversation last night. Like, most relationships, you're not starting out with, hey, do we align? Do we have a common goal? Do we have a common vision? Are we going to communicate our needs and what it is we desire in a relationship? Or are we going to go along to get along and not articulate what it is that needs to be said? Because most relationships fail for the lack of communication. And it's usually out of fear that people don't communicate. And then at the same time, that's a manipulation. To assume, you know, we all got it. When you make an ass out of you and me, when you assume. The imposing your expectations, the attachment to your expectations, all of that is a setup to a letdown. It's a setup and a sabotage. Speak it out. Get it out. Don't waste time. You've only got this one precious life. Make it matter. Make it worthy. And acknowledge, hey, maybe this person isn't right for me. Don't try to fit yourself into a relationship or make the person fit you. It's not that way. There's someone for everyone. But you have to trust. And that's a part of surrender. You have to allow people to go when it's time for them to go. And you have to also acknowledge when you've outgrown your time with someone. So, let's get on the train and explore. It's windy, huh? Okay, this is where we're at, and I'm super excited to see what I find. I have a whole mapping trip. I think I need to go this way. I'm so funny. So, Eric mapped it all out for me, which is what I love about Sagittarians. I'm very blessed in my life to have amazing people, having been so organized. I'm very organized myself, but I really love to let, honestly, the masculine lead. And I love, and I've had relationships like that where my Sagittarian men have always picked up and just taken the lead, and that's always been a blessing, and that's one of the reasons I tend to lean into and not just attract, but draw to me those types of men. The person I was speaking of in my previous videos was, oh, does it go this way? I'll go this way. I'm trying to figure out, do I hit this? What do I have to do? How do I get out? I don't know. Do I just... Oh, it just goes through. Okay. Anyway, you don't have to zoom out. Anyway, the person that I was talking... The person in my previous video that I was discussing about having had an old relationship with was a Sagittarius. And I really appreciated the relationship we had because we would go on trips and he would plan it all out. And I absolutely love that about him. Yeah. Oh gosh, I can't talk anymore. You gotta see this. Coming out of the metro, the first thing I see is the Ministry of Agriculture. Look at this building, that architecture, statues up above. Wow. Yeah, he knew I wanted to see beautiful architecture and how much I love all the buildings. Like when I was younger, I actually wanted to be an architect. Probably because in a past life I was somehow connected to that. Wow. Just amazing. Hotel Mediodia. Okay, so what we're gonna do is I am gonna go in the direction that he told me. He told me to go toward, okay, I'm believing to the right up here because I want to go to the Ritz for coffee and then I will go on from there. So it's a beautiful, perfect weather in my personal opinion. It requires a couple layers. Oh my goodness. Like seriously. This is incredible. Incredible. Ministry of Agriculture. I am going to go walk and talk, and I hope I'm not too all over the place for you, but I hope you're appreciating and enjoying all this beautiful, beautiful sunshiny weather. And yeah, wow. All I can say is wow. So, oh, you know what? I was thinking last night that I was a little annoyed, a little agitated, that I hadn't seen any feathers, and guess what I just got? Yep. Good signs always for me. The feather to me has symbolized that I'm on the right path, that wherever I land, it's supporting me, it's uplifting me, soft landing, and my feet are headed in the right direction, as I would like to say. That just really makes me happy. So I'm in my happy place. So happy. Relationships, though. This is that time when we're really evaluating our relationships. And if we're in the right partnerships, or are we just holding on because it's comfort, dependency, codependency? That is so common, but it's not healthy. It's not, and we're not going to grow in our comfort zone. If you're not being challenged by your partner, they're not uplifting you and making you grow, lifting you up higher, might be time to move on. Yeah. And change is like death, and you have to mourn that. So if you're in a transitional period of your life, which I am, remember, you're going to go through the stages of grief. And you have to acknowledge, honor, and grieve. And celebrate. Celebrate all the beauty that relationships have taken you through, experiences, the lessons, the blessings, the ups, the downs, the highs, the lows, because relationship is where you grow. Yeah, it's all about how you relate with another is mirroring how you're relating to yourself. Relationships where we do the hard work. You can amass all the knowledge, be all wise and shit, but it's how you apply that. You integrate it into your life that it really, really makes all the difference. It really, truly does. You become wise because of integrating your experiences into your physical being. That is the feeling into your body. You feel it to heal it, but you really lean into the feeling to acknowledge that's where the wisdom is, in your body's wisdom. Your body is your wisdom. You can't come from here. You have to come from here. It really is that simple. I believe everywhere I look today, you're gonna see flashes of just all this amazing architecture and structure. Yeah, so my next, and I love this building. I love these corner buildings. You know, you go to France, Paris. I love Paris. Paris is one of my favorite cities too. And you see these amazing structures and buildings. It's like, you don't see anyone building these anymore. At least not in the US, for sure. And how did we end up with buildings like that? They didn't. Yeah, getting the hustle and bustle here with all the noise. Alright, I'm gonna find out if I'm on the right street before I get caught too far off the path. And as my fortune would have it, I am on the right path, next to the buses, of course. So right up here, further up, on the right will be, this is the garden, this is botanical gardens on the right. And it looks like they're doing some digging and maybe some landscaping. That's normal, right? So if I keep up here, it's about 600 meters up on the right-hand side. I'm gonna be going to the Ritz Orient, and I'm gonna, oh look, the parakeets. We have those in Dunedin, the wild parakeets. Quite aggressive and also very territorial. Between them and the crows, where I live, they're very much like, this is my space. It depends on how many there are of them, of who wins, of course. So you get to hear and see the hustle and the bustle of Madrid. It's a big city. And he did mention there was a place that the Egyptians donated a temple. I'm a little sad that Eric didn't want to be in the videos, or because he has so much amazing history to share, and he really is so knowledgeable, and I really appreciate listening to him talk about the history of Madrid, because he was saying he wanted to be a tour guide and take people on tours, and I tell you, he is the perfect person for that. And again, Sages, that's a beautiful quality about them. They're really good at mapping out and helping navigate and making sure that, you know, that you're taken care of. And I believe they come from that place of that's what they would like as well. And that's what many of us do. We tend to do things the way we'd want them done for us. So, but not everybody's love language is the same, so always recognize that. Like if someone's not acknowledging you for something you would want done because you do it, then just don't take it personal. It's just that maybe that person's love language is different than yours. And that's what relationship is about. Learning to relate to a person as the person, not as yourself. Because we do that, we project. We project out and assume the person is like us. Unspoken expectations of relationships, and I'm just loving the bark on the trees too. And how we have an expectation of a relationship with a person and how they should be and how they should respond to us, but we never stop to think about the opposite, how we should be for them, and if those people also have an unmet or unspoken expectation of us. If you're not talking about it, you're probably unconsciously dealing with drama. You know, drama comes from unspoken realizations, unspoken expectations. Drama is essentially lack of communication. You know, drama is expressive, not always spoken. You need a little bit of both. And the body language makes a big difference too, by the way. You need to be very much in tune with your body, and they need to be in tune with theirs. Share your hopes, your dreams, speak it out. Make sure you're on the same wavelength and path in life as your partner. Don't just have sex with anybody. Sex is sacred. You know, we're in an age where they're trying to normalize sex as you're supposed to just give it up or you should be free, and I don't believe in that. I really don't. You know, the fountains are really beautiful. I believe if people were more in tune with themselves and not doing things out of obligation, they'd recognize the sacredness, the sanctity. Oh wow, look at those buildings back there. That when you come in union with another person, your body's your temple. You don't give it to just anyone. And when you have sex, you should have a focus for that energy, not scattering it. When you just have sex randomly, you're scattering your energy. And believe it or not, it gets harvested. Scattered energy doesn't serve anyone. Aha! More white feathers. Scattered energy, it actually depletes you, it exhausts you. Your energy should be enhanced and energized when you come into sacred sex union with another partner. You should both be taking that energy and focusing it and alchemizing it into something bigger, grander. It is magic. It is creation. What are you going to create with that energy? Are you going to create a baby? Are you going to create a business, an empire? Are you going to focus that on healing the world through sexual healing? Because all of that, that's where people drop the ball. They don't acknowledge that sex is that sacred. It's not just, let's go play around. No, you need to be serious with your play and intentional with your sex. Yeah. Are you with a safe person? Are you with someone who honors you, respects you? Or are you just randomly giving it up to anyone who will take it? Because once you set that standard, that it's okay for someone to take advantage of you, to take your sacred body and do whatever it is they please, others will continue. You emit that energy, and that's what you attract. You attract where you're at. So who we got here? Let's see if you can pronounce this. I see Velasquez. Oh yeah. Here we go. That's interesting, huh? Let's see. So beautiful. People get honored, have the pictures taken, have statues made in their image. I wonder, would you want a statue made of you to immortalize you? You hear them? They're right over here in these trees, these pine trees. The parrots. They're green and they're real chatty. I need me a good cappuccino. They're up there somewhere. Look at those pine cones, how pretty they are. I just saw them. Where'd you go? Tuk-tuks. There's a very large tuk-tuk. Oh yeah. there. Oh yeah. This is where we're going. You know what? Treat yourself. Make sure you're treating yourself well. Making sure that I'm going in the right way. I might be going the wrong way. Oh, 19 town. We'll find out in a second. Looks like here's the entry. I love this part. Access here is closed. Okay, we're not going in that way. Find our way over here. I just asked one of the workers and I said, where can I go have a nice cappuccino? He said, walk around the other way. So here I am, and it's right behind me. But over here, access to Cerrado, Pictura. Hey, you know, for me, it's all about the experience. Oh, wow. Mushrooms, my sister. Anybody? Anybody? Look at the size of those mushrooms on the tree. Living in harmony and symphony, nature, taking care of each other. So, yeah, this is Ritz. Bright sunny day. We're gonna go inside. I'm loving that all of my warrior women tribe is just communicating like crazy. Oh yeah, this is where we're going. Oh, cool. Ooh la la. Oh yeah, this is the entry you want. All of my warrior women are communicating and just still reveling in the beautiful time we spent together in Tenerife. Oh, how lovely is this? If you recall, when I was in Venice, I went to that one place and had a beautiful cappuccino. It was kind of nice because we're not very many people. You know me, I gotta have my nice teas. So this is how we're gonna go inside. It's gorgeous. I love buildings and architecture. This is absolutely stunning. So here's the entry. Buenos dias. Gracias. Oh, look at that view. Oh, this is so gorgeous. Yes. Okay, let's go find our way. Yes. Gracias. Oh, this is so beautiful here. Thank you. Taking in all this beautiful architecture. And this is my sweet table. Yes. You know I have to have my cappuccino. And I like to explore in different locations and places. This is a treat for me. I hope you enjoy it too. I'm just getting a cappuccino and maybe something for, let's see if they have coffees right there. I'm not a beer drinker. Fruits and juices and shakes. The La Vie and Rose sounds yummy too. Strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, and almond milk. But here, that's what we're talking about. The Spanish coffee, instead of espresso, is cortado. This time, Hola Coffee, our specialty coffee brand, is taking us to Brazil, faithful to the product and the natural roasting process. They bring us an Arabica bean coffee with a light fruity taste that offsets its natural acidity to perfection. They have green teas, they have hot chocolates. Ooh, hot chocolate from the Mandarin Oriental Ritz, Madrid. Turmeric rose, a golden latte with turmeric, ginger, black pepper, cayenne, and organic coconut sugar. Red velvet. Oh, I know what that one is. That's inspired by the famous red velvet cake with sweet beetroot powder, espresso, and milk. And then the Azuki matcha. Ooh, ladies. More interesting than a nice matcha is a base of Azuki beans and cream and kanako powder. I don't know what the powder is, but I've had Azuki matcha. Ooh, that might be the alternative. Maybe I do that. They have rooibos. They have black tea. Green tea. They also have the matcha. Waters. Okay. So now I have to choose. So I expressed that I was allergic to gluten. He's going to bring me macaroons and the hot chocolate because it's something special. Caliente. Presentation is everything, people. Look at those beautiful Oriental cups, porcelain. Yummy, yummy. Absolutely delicious. I think I got my fill of sugar with the macaroons. I'm going to now explore a little bit more and find me some gluten-free places. I am needing some serious hydration. I could really use a facial. But, you know, travel kind of sucks the moisture out of you. Well, once again, my technology is doing some glitchy stuff, and that's all good. Right behind this monument, you will notice, the building behind it is the Ritz. Look at that gorgeous terrace. A lot of times the big, best restaurants are on top of the hotels. I know that for Italy. So it turned out, you know, I was saying that essentially wherever I go, I can't avoid Italy, especially right now. The whole reason I'm on this trip is my heart being called. And it's like I told my mom years ago when I was going through that major transition. The year was 2008. And I was in a toxic work environment. And I was deemed the cause of hate and discontent between military, civilian, and contractors. Government, civilian, and contractors. And I was like, wow, it's interesting how people will try to pin something on one person as a scapegoat. Because when you're in a toxic environment, leadership trickles down. When the leadership is toxic, it creates a toxic work environment. And that was a very hard time of my life, of which I've been healing for many years. And during that time, I said to my mom, I wasn't ready to leave Italy. I was forced to leave because I was unable to find something to allow me to stay. And I was trying to find an alternative to the work environment I was currently in. I was trying to get a job up in Latina working for NATO, And I found that they didn't like to hire women in the IT realm, that was still an old school. It was all about the men. They only liked to hire the men. And I actually had a secretary point that out to me, that she didn't see very many women come through, and she didn't see any women being hired, even if they did come through for interview. So in December of 2007, and I was dealing with a health issue. I should have been on disability, but I was pushing through and working with extreme pain. And I was dealing with a lot of like people trying to, I don't know how to explain it. Didn't matter, I was good at my job. But in the end, like I said to my mom, and it really brought tears to my eyes, I wasn't ready to leave. And it was time for me to go home and heal. So I can connect the dots and see how in my life, when I didn't make the choice, God stepped in. When I was choosing my suffering, God said, that's enough. Stop. And that's what happens if you don't make the choice to change. Something drastic steps in. That's God rearranging your life because of love. Because when you're not choosing you, God's choosing you. And I could see that after the fact, that no matter how unjust the situation, no matter whose fault it was, in the end, I even said to my mom, I wasn't choosing me, and I was trying to push through and find alternatives. But the truth was, it was toxic and it was time for me to go. And it was my personal experience that taught me that when you don't choose you, the choice will be made for you. And if you're not willingly choosing, making the choice for you, it will be chosen for you in a way that's disempowering, that makes you feel like it's being done to you, that you will actually claim to be the victim of your circumstances, when in reality, you're just the victim of your inability to choose you, that you are the victim of your own choosing, that you are choosing your suffering. And that's what I was doing in those moments, that time. And I had to come back to the States. I had to go back and spend years of healing. Coming and going, constantly trying to find my way back to Italy. I was doing it even during those years. I was still dating my Italian boyfriend, which was also a huge teacher, a huge lesson in my life, recognizing the pattern that I had carried over from my parents. The story I was living wasn't even my own. I was reliving and playing out my parents' relationship. And that was like in my face when I went home. I was like, ugh, this needs to stop. And then I went and did Date with Destiny with Anthony Robbins. And I learned a lot about how we have promoting and demoting habits, and that it really is it goes back to healing the core wounds and why I do what I do. So now, once again, I find myself at a crossroads to where I know, just like I felt it back then, it's time for me to choose my next route, my next life path. What's next for me? I'm being called. I'm allowing myself to be guided. I'm willing to receive the messages and follow them. Whereas before, all the signs were there, and I can look back in hindsight. Not just then, but that was a powerful time. But now, in this point in my life, at this point, in this juncture, I've known for the past couple years that I was past my expiration point where I'm at. And so now a new story unfolds. And this is where I get excited, because this is where I thrive. In the unfamiliar, familiar, unknown. That I know that I will be taken care of as long as I trust in myself and surrender to the process. And the unveiling and the unfolding is just, goditi la vita. Seize your life, create it, explore it, be willing to become an active participant in it. Don't be an extra, be the star of your own life. And that is where I am. Starring in my life. Look at this beautiful sycamore and this building and the architecture. Eric told me I was going to love this part of town. And then you got this statue, fountain, the ducks. That's so cool. I could jump on one of those Madrid buses and just check it out. And you gotta watch where you walk, because even though I have comfortable shoes on my feet, when there's just a little uneven, it feels like I'm tripping on my ankle. But thankfully I have strong ankles and feet, which if you don't, you can easily break and hurt yourself. You gotta have strength. Oh wow, look at that. Looky. Look at that detail. Oh my gosh, that's incredible. This is the Correos that he told me to come check out. This famous building. It's on the other side of the Sycamore. I'll show you as I get there. Look at the top. Wow. That's incredible. Wow. All that detail. Okay, here we go. Coming around. Wow. Yep, undeniably an amazing building. I'm actually going to download a picture, because the pictures he showed me online were even more beautiful than the physical building like can be taken from my camera. I mean, it's beautiful in person, but I don't have the photography skills on this phone. If I had my fancy camera, like when I used to work as a public relations for public affairs when I was working NATO years ago, I had a fancy camera to work with. And Adobe Photoshop and all that fun stuff. Wow, this is gorgeous. Just take that in. Oh yeah. And then he did mention the fountain. There's some crazy Americans right there. We're saying something about going inside. I figured, what the heck, I'll follow. Yeah, that's a good idea. They have drinks and restaurants and cocktail bar. Maybe? Oh, you gotta, oh no, I'm not putting my bag through security stuff. Just not in the mood for that. I'm gonna go find gluten-free places. But look over here on the other side. I know, it is really a bustling city, so like there's lots of noise. The globe being held above here. Back over that direction to where I'm heading. Yeah. Fun times. I love to walk, by the way. Love to walk. You gotta move your body. Move it or lose it, baby. Oh my goodness, this is so awesome. Like seriously gorgeous. Look at the detail, I can't even. Right above the clock on the top is that gold ball. So yeah, let's move on. Fascinating. All that architecture. Look at how amazing they have this mapped out. The city's enormous. I'm trying to show you this without all the reflection, but yeah, it's a bright sunny day. And we're at another metro. Exploring. While I explore, it's like meditation in motion for me. If you couldn't tell, that's why I navigate and I speak over the video, because this is what I'm thinking as I'm walking around. It puts me in deep reflection. It gets me considering how to, how I'm looking at my life. It's all deep reflection. This is what I feel travel does for people, is it gets them to reflect on their lives. Are you living your true, authentic life, or are you just going through motions? Because some people go to big cities just to take in as much as they can to the point of overwhelm, and they do nothing with it. Like, you want to be inspired by the art, to want to create, everything you do should be an expansion, an expression of you. How lovely is that? So sweet. Oh yeah. This is a really beautiful city. Has a lot of culture, a lot of art, a lot to offer, as does every place you go. Even if you're in the dumps, you're not in the best place, I guarantee you it has something to offer you. You don't have the best, you should do the best with what you got. Now I think he said to keep going straight back there, but I just got drawn in by this architecture. So, and this looks like, maybe that's Neptune, because he mentioned Neptune on one of the buildings. It has wings, whatever it is. I'll look it up on the map and let you know. This building also caught my eye because of these statues. They're massive. Look at the people underneath them. Incredible. These statues are like several people size. Look at that. Wow. And unbelievable. I mean, like, who built this stuff? And I couldn't quite figure out this one with the globe on top and the winged individual. But behind it, over here, behind the bus, is a church by the looks of things. So I think I'm in the fancy fashion district, if we would say shopping, because he did mention that those beautiful buildings. Wow. Just going down that street itself. I think I have to cross though. Yeah, Aces. I want to go to the top of that. That's gorgeous. Over here we have Circuit de Arts. Once again, those LED lights flicker. It's the most bizarre thing. It's not healthy for you. Yeah, I would definitely be drawn to living in a home like that. If my house was there, I'd be happy. This is a pretty prime location. Time to cross. I'm being drawn in that direction. Follow your heart. It's Ritz. You can see, but that looks like somebody's terrace library area up in there. That looks like a really nice building. And then on the top, my gosh, that is paradise. Paradise in the city. Over here, you see the tiles on the Rolex building. Right up there, right above the windows. Beautiful tiles. Yeah. Taking those sights. You're being inspired and you're thinking, wow, I want to go there. Do it. Just do it. Don't even think about it. Find a way. The moment you choose, the universe conspires to make it happen. If it's truly meant to happen, it will happen. It can never be held from you. Again, always look up. Look at that roof. I know you can't see what I see, but that's looking like wood and tiles. Remember in Ayamonte, I was pointing out how these buildings are built out for their little porches, terraces, whatever you want to call it. It's just a beautiful way to enjoy the sunshine with some coverage from the elements. Ooh, look, on a screen. Seriously. Can't get enough of this architecture. Oh yeah. See? I'm very blessed. I told Eric how much I love him. I said, you drive me crazy, but I'd love you. If I didn't care, I wouldn't get upset. Mostly because I hate to see people suffer. After all the suffering I endured in my own life, watching my mom suffer, even my dad, like that's why we think we can help and fix others. Because it makes us feel uncomfortable. The truth of the matter is, you need to find your comfort in the discomfort of others. Like, hold that space for them. They'll feel quicker if you don't try to fix them. They'll naturally fall asleep just by being in your presence. that ability to be and hold space. It's a little noisy once in a while. But yeah, you hold the space, you create that space for others, you have the compassion, you actually help speed their process. But the moment you try to control, fix, or think you can help someone, project your shit onto them and assume you know better for them, that's when you create the resistance in them. Because you're resisting how they are. And you don't want anybody trying to tell you what to do, so why are you trying to do it to others too? Remember that. What you resist in another is a resistance within you. It's the inability to accept your discomfort with someone else being uncomfortable. When you can honor and just allow others to be in their discomfort, that speeds the healing process. That speeds the transition from comfort, discomfort, discomfort, comfort. But it's really an awareness. It's really a conscious effort. It's all about mindfulness. It's all about the present. Being present with the gift of the now. Yeah. I don't know how many times I was uncomfortable with my dad being uncomfortable, or my mom, and trying to, again, be the peacemaker, be the peacekeeper. And that didn't solve anything. It just put more resistance, trauma, and created the struggle between us. The more I started softening and just allowing and just being in my own stuff, like owning my own shit so that it didn't own me, it just naturally unfolded that they found their own comfort, because then they didn't feel that tension, the energy that I was emitting. Because again, the energy you're emitting is being picked up by others. So if you're uncomfortable with someone else's discomfort, they're feeling that, and they feel even more uncomfortable because of the energy. And in the end, you're creating the tension within you and around you. And so the more I was able to soften, they softened. It starts with you. You want to see the change around you, you got to be the change you want to see in the world. Literally. Gandhi, right? Be the change you want to see in the world. That's the only way the world changes, is when it starts with you. Everything has to start within to radiate out, to see the change around you. Yep. Unexpected shopping. Found some really beautiful, comfortable lingerie because I need to kind of revamp that style, because nothing fits anymore because of the size reduction. I have to get rid of everything and start over again. That's kind of a nice feeling. How pretty. This is like a shopping area that I just happened to go down to go toward where I'm headed. And I just love the colors. And this one caught my eye because look how pretty that is. The wrought iron. And then that one with the color. Cute. All sorts of different fashion and styles.
No.
I like the roofs of these buildings. If there is a way. Something to see. Doc Martens. I used to wear those back in the day. Oh yeah, that's a lot of perfume, a lot of makeup. Oh, look at the terraces over there. Nice. Kind of reminds me of when I lived in Naples. That was covered. The tiles. Just like in Portugal, right? That's really gorgeous. See how people have the closed terraces. That's all tile. Oh, here we go, door. Beautiful doors. See how many people will photobomb the door. Lindt chocolate. Some things are like chain. I've seen Sephora, Loco Polo, San Sebastian. Ooh, that looks yummy. Ooh, hola. And you know, there's got to be a Starbucks. And funny enough, there's a Dunkin' right next to it. Tell me that's not comical to be in a foreign country as an American, where those are American brands. Please don't fall prey to the brand. Fall to the... No, don't fall at all, actually. If you don't have a standard, you'll fall for anything. And sometimes you can be drawn in by the packaging. That's what marketing is all about. Advertising. They spend so much money to influence people into buying what they want you to think you want. So they try to implant you with the idea of what you believe is fashionable. But it's programmed into you by watching TV and constantly seeing. You know, repetition is the key to consistency and establishing your mindset. Let it be your own. Be attentive to what is yours and what is not. Oh, these beautiful buildings. Some new, some old, some reconstructed. It's like a mix of time periods all in one. Like, look at that, gorgeous. And then you get closer. Look at that, right up top. Brick and tile. Details matter. That's art. Leaving your mark. Your own personalized style. Which technically nothing is original, but you know, it's a collective collaboration. Something you think of becomes something that is fashionable. That's kind of loud, huh? And then the door. Pizza. I like the way the street wraps around down there, huh? Oh yeah, I can just look around and see this beautiful architecture all day long. And that's why I'm down in this area. I just keep following. That's kind of colorful. Super dry. To over here, I've got about 6 minutes to my destination, which could take longer just because I have a tendency to look around like I do. Oh, gorgeous. Museum of History. Wow, look at that. Now that is pretty fascinating. Incredible. Wow. Always something to see. Now we're over by the Tribunal Metro. What I could do is go back to Rome and hang out in the city. It's so funny. I just feel very in like a flow. I haven't yet felt the next location to go. Tribunal de Fuentes. Yeah, okay, let's get to my destination. Getting there, slowly but surely. Oh wow, yeah. Juicy Avenue, I like the name of that place. Yeah. I just love curbs. I love when buildings have curbs in them because that's more natural. There's a flow, there's a harmony. Kind of like the water forms around. Away from the Spanish Steps. Yeah. Again, this just is so gorgeous. Like, you really need to take and soak in all this architecture. It's very inspiring. Can you choose what you like the best? I don't. I can't choose it my favorite because they're all so gorgeous.
How did he follow you on Instagram?
I like that building. I love the building and the architecture. Crepes and waffles. Yeah, speaking my language. Well, that was my old comfort food. My mom used to make crepes, Suzettes, beignets. Yeah, and I think I have to turn here. I just thought I'd take a moment to appreciate. Yeah, I'm less than 3 minutes to my destination. And I found gluten-free Eat My Trip lunch and dinner. This is what I'm here for. They do pancakes. And everything's supposed to be gluten-free. Ooh, this is pretty. Ooh la la. I want it all. That sounds like me. That's my life. Like that. Ooh, yum, yum. They're all gluten-free. Oh my gosh, I am in heaven. I am going to come in here and eat some kombucha on tap. Awesome. Oh my gosh, this is the bathroom. Look at the walls. I love this. And then you've got this light bulb with disco lights all around. Hello, darling. Oh yeah, baby. Oh, behave. Oh my gosh, in the toilet too. You can't make this stuff up. Este baño non es laboratorio, por favor, no de sus muestras. Okay, yes, this is really super cool. Have you ever had an experience like this in the bathroom? It's a disco. And don't let me forget the floors. Those beautiful tiles. It's like when I was in Portugal, the blues. It's a little lighter. It's so pretty. Ooh la la. This is so cool. Okay, so the bathroom was right there. And these are the lights. I'm freaking loving it. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna go out and let's get some food. Tiles on the floor.
Yes, I don't know if it was a mistake or not, but the folder at place. Yeah, I thought about it.
This is my seat over here. Just enjoy sitting in the window, outside, enjoying the scenery. I am so excited to get gluten-free pancakes, Canadian style, with butter and maple syrup, and a Guacoscramble with a couple poached eggs to go on the side too. OMG. I am in my little happy place. Comfort food. Yum. Oh, and Victor was so sweet. So I'm excited about this experience since the ladies from my warrior tribe recommended that I come here. So yeah, good stuff. I'm gonna have to go take a picture of his back because I know that shirt says something really cool. Pancake a day keeps the doctor away. That's what I'm talking about. Comfort food.
Great.
I love it. Thank you, Victor.
Thank you.
See, I grew up with pancakes and French toast and eggs over easy, and we used to do dropped egg on toast where you poached it and then you toasted the toast and then put it on top with butter, salt, and pepper. My dad was all about the bacon. We were too because we followed his lead, but I'm not a big I don't do ham or bacon anymore. I mean, I haven't done it in ages. It makes me wonder because pig is the closest to humans, and they're using pigs for human hearts and arteries and all sorts of medical procedures. Like Robin Williams had a pig heart, if I'm not mistaken. And I just always wondered psychologically, because we take on the energy of, you see the movie Body Parts. It's a true story. Like, it infuses the energy in you. There's a great book. It was by a heart surgeon, The Heart's Code. It was recommended to me years ago by Sugar Ray, and it was basically talking about how the memories of the donor who their heart was replaced with they started having memories that weren't theirs but came from the original owner of that heart. And I just believe in that because there's just too many stories to prove it. So yeah, we take on the energy of whatever we infuse in our body, whether it is through procedure or through bodily fluids or through what we eat. So be intentional with what you eat, what you speak, what you look at, what you hear, because you take in through your 5 senses. No! Pancakes aren't gluten-free. It's okay. I have places back in the States I can go. But still, be intentional with whatever you do put in front of you, because we nourish ourselves through the 5 senses. So pay attention, be mindful at what you look at, what you intentionally try to smell, taste, touch, hear. Like watching TV, you're taking it through your senses. You are easily influenced because that's your data source. Everything that you nourish yourself, not just food, but the environment you place yourself in. If you watch my videos in the past, I talk about this. Because when you heighten your senses, you also heighten your intuition. It is through the 5 senses, through the physical body, that you feel. And the more you tune into your body's wisdom and you really heighten those senses, the more intuitive, the more aware you are before you need to be. So it's not a surprise you're caught off guard. Okay, now I'm not caught off guard. I'm gonna enjoy what I get. Food has arrived. So I have 2 poached eggs because the scramble was gone. It's funny. And then I have 2 extra. And we have crème fraîche and yummy on gluten-free bread. I had also ordered a matcha latte, and you can't make this. This is so cool. Look at this. It's wild, wild, wild. We're in a wild España. Look at this. Beautiful. Some tap water. They have some of the best water here in Spain. Matcha, matcha, matcha. Matcha latte, that is. And look at this cool glass. It's a skeleton. Skull looking at me. Oh, that's delicious. Earthy and green. Heart chakra. That was absolutely delicious. I am stuffed. And I met the owner, Antonio, and they also have 2 other locations, one in Barcelona and one in another district. And then he was telling me if I've ever go to Tulum, there was the Inspiration was a place there. So now I'm going to start walking to walk this off and give a call back to the States to check on my house. Sure enough, I just got off the phone with Andy, who is watching over my house, and he said he had a feeling it was going to go off to the right, which means it'll go up the center of the state and probably off to the east coast, as it always does. And there's a reason why they call it Clearwater and Safety Harbor, that the Seminole Indians used to go there during this time of year. And Tampa is the indigenous name, and translation is lightning. There's a reason why they're called the lightning, right? So I just found Leon the baker. So without gluten and without lactose. I'm really excited about this. Ooh, la la. Ooh, yummy. I can smell the chocolate and it smells so wonderful in here. Hi. You know me, if I can find gluten-free, I am a happy camper. So beautiful. Look how beautiful this is. It's inviting. It's gorgeous. Oh, ooh, cake. And see. Oh, and it even has a space back in the back. This is beautiful. All right, let's see what I find. Gaza pan cardamom. Burnt bread. That's cool. Look at this one. Kombucha bread. Kind of like a sourdough. I have to check into that one. That's curious. But I'm really curious about trying the tiramisu because that's what got my attention. Right in there. Tiramisu to take with me, but I'm going to sit down and eat a bite of it before I go anywhere. Wow. I can't remember the last time I ate tiramisu, and especially gluten-free. Probably one I made years ago. And the rest I'm going to take with me because I can't eat all of this after the food I had before. Yummy. This is pretty good. It's not like lady fingers, like a normal tiramisu. It's like a little biscuit, like a crunchy biscuit. And usually it's soaked in masala, I believe. But it's hitting the spot. A little tiramisu, gluten-free. Well, that tiramisu really, woof. I couldn't eat the whole thing, so the rest of it's going with me. But I wanted to share this gorgeous building as there is so much cool architecture, like I said. How pretty is that? Wow. Yeah. Okay, where to next? I think we're gonna go towards Seoul, which is where I was with Eric the first time I came through. But I also want to find another gluten-free place called Celioso. So that'll be the next place. So this looks really inviting too. San Miguel Fruteria. I love fruit. Let me see what they got in here. Maybe they got some goodies that I can pick up and bring back. Chestnuts, potatoes, sweet potatoes, pineapples, mangoes. Ooh la la. Pomegranates, quince and peaches and plums and pears. All sorts of yumminess. I don't know if you can see this as clearly. Flat white peaches, which used to be my Italian boyfriend's favorite thing. Hello. Oh, persimmons. Those look like, oh yeah, there's my persimmons. I found them. How gorgeous is this colorful fruit? Oh my gosh. So beautiful. I wonder if I can find that one fruit that I found. You gotta laugh at this one. So I walked in and he was like immediately grabbing fruit for me. And I got myself, this is a couple kilos of beautiful fruit. And I have figs. I found a couple persimmons, some mangoes. I don't know, there's something else in there too. This is gonna crack you up. I looked up as I crossed the street and this is what I see. This crazy skeleton hanging from the building and underneath with Frida Kahlo. How cool is that? That's wild. Hey, you know, you're gonna find all sorts of interesting art and inspiration. What inspires you, what doesn't matter. Even if it doesn't inspire you, it inspires you. Motivate, elevate. Okay, so I am on my way to Celioso. Okay, so the C is pronounced like a TH. So Barcelona is Barcelona. I did take Spanish years ago. And there's two forms of Spanish, of course. Pretty entry. The Catalan. I know, there's many forms. What am I talking about? I don't know shit, right? I'm just speaking from what I remembered. Look how cool the bark on this tree is. It's almost like it looks like it got burnt. But maybe that's just the way that type of tree is. Huh. I bet that tree's got some history to share, along with all these others. And the gorgeous, gorgeous architecture. Yeah. So Eric sends me a message, do you think you'll be hungry when you get back? And I'm like, I don't think so. I don't think I'm gonna need to eat anything until tomorrow at this point. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. How cool is that? Like, look at the underneath of the detail that goes into these buildings. Like, there's underneath so that when you look up, like when I was in Ayamonte on my trip to Portugal, and then you've got all that brick, and then it's all the elements combined. You know, the wrought iron, the glass, The cement, the brick, the stones. Ah, details. It's the small details that make up the full essence and atmosphere, right? Give it its character. Give you the experience of a lifetime, right? That same building. Oh my gosh, I didn't even notice this one. This is the same building. Same structure, just on the angles, because like I said, I love the way they make around the wraparound corners. And then as you're noticing over here, another building kind of complements and builds off of it. Oh wow, that's cool. Very unique. And I'm like creating circles of myself here. Oh yeah, look at that. How that's connected. More fruit. And another cool building. I just love seeing fresh fruit. It makes me happy. Ooh, yummy, yummy. More mangoes. Oranges. Oh yeah, it's fruit heaven here for me. Wonder if they have... I was trying to find that fruit that I had when I was in Tenerife. It was like an avocado with a light green skin, but it was actually smooth inside. It might have been a cherimoya, somebody said. Well, here we are, nuestras harinas. I don't know what all that is. Trigo, sarraceno, arroz, maíz, garbanzo, teff, and multi-cereales. 0% gluten, 100% sabor flavor. How beautiful is that? They have different types of tea, digestives, infusions, chocolates, and coffee. Yum, yum, yum. How cool is that? How pretty. It's so inviting. 0% gluten. Let's see what we can find for cookies. Oh, how sweet is this? I love the mushies. Okay. Pretty. You can create your own salads. All sorts of goodies. Hola. Todos sin gluten? Ooh la la. See, if I find the perfect little cookie, kind of like when I was in Venice, I could get something like they have a coconut tart back there. Ooh, they have croissants. Oh. Tarta de Santiago. I wonder if that's almond. Frutos de cascara. Fruits of cascara. Ooh. Coconut bread. I don't know I feel like I should know what trigo sarraceno is, but I can't recall. Oh, here we go. Almond cookies. Cocoa cookies. I'm in heaven. Yummy. So I just realized this bread here is made of buckwheat. Trigo sarraceno means buckwheat. That's super cool. And cascadas actually means shells, so I'm not sure exactly. But anyway, you got all sorts of goodies. I feel like I'm going to explode, so I only got 4 small little almond cookies because I thought, you know what, if I get too much, I'm gonna get sick. And I'm listening to my body on that one because I'm not trying to overdo it, and I really am full from earlier and a lot of food. This is a lot of backtracking, but basically I'm going back the way I came, tracing my roots back to the other direction, which is perfect because I have to go back that way to find my way back to Eric's anyway. So, me covering a whole lot of ground today, just in case you're thinking that I'm making this up. This is me just on one day. And I gotta zoom into this one. That is a gorgeous building too. Look, more tiles. Absolutely fascinating. And that terrace. Oh my gosh, that's gotta be gorgeous up there. And that's how my mind operates. I want to visit their terrace. I want to check out what it looks like up there. What a view that must be. Talk about different Another beautiful fountain. Whoops, I'm stepping off. That was me stepping off a very high curve over here. Good thing I got a pretty good footing. Pretty strong on my stance. Right over by the taxis over here. Still finding my way. Oh yeah, another beautiful door. Pardon. Curved buildings. Even in Naples we have the same. Leva Madre. Red. That is just so beautiful. Like how much people put into their terraces in Europe. They make the best of all the space they have. Ooh, someone's selling a floor. That would be a nice space. This is super cool, actually. I literally am retracing my steps because behind me is Latte, which is another gluten-free place, as well as this gorgeous building up above my head. I moved so those people could walk past me. And then I'm also going to come right back to the place I was eating and filled my belly so much. Oh my gosh. I got a belly bomb right now. I'm not kidding when I say I'm full. And this is where I ate earlier. Now they're closed until probably later. They have dinner here. I met the owner as I was finishing up. His name is Antonio. Really, really cool guy. And he was expressing how he was going to change the one up in Barcelona because it's like he has a few places, and he's explained that he basically is inspired by a place in Tulum, Mexico, which I think is cool. That'll probably be on my list of places to go when I get back. Cool. What have we got? Old cool places. Yeah. And we're heading back. Picnic. There's American sandwich fries. Yep. I just wanted to share the beauty of this establishment because it was so inviting, just with the cool art and the floors. How beautiful is that? Organic papaya. Yeah, that's super cool. Makes you want to go in and just check out the decor because every place has their own flavor, right? Their own mark, their imprint on the world. Just like you and me. Imprints, energy, blueprints, marks, DNA, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, always look up. Oh, so crazy cool. So I'm coming around the corner to this other gluten-free bakery. And it is right over here. Let's see where we end up. Should be right. Laundry. Can't be far. It's gotta be over here. I said right and then right. So I ended up going the opposite way, and then I got turned around again. GPS wasn't picking up. Gorgeous, love that. So now I'm coming close again. You can't make up this stuff. Boyberry? What do you think that is? There were guys in the pic. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It is what it is. Bershka. Look at that. Gran Via, and this is the grand chaos of the evening. Lots of people, and I just want you to see all this gorgeous architecture. There's something beautiful for everyone. I love that. I love all these buildings. They're just so amazing. Just look up. Interesting dreams last night. Brought up some of my old past relationships. Bizarre stuff. How cool is that old building in between? Which one do you think's the oldest? The tiny Libreria Perez Galtos. Or this is a hotel. How funny is that? Pensione, a pension. A lot of times rental place, like short terms. It's got to be over here. Walk to work. That's funny. Tex-Mex. Guy clearly was on the other side of the street, but this is the gluten-free bakery. Look at this. I'm sure that's all sugar. Can't be anything but. How crazy. But it looks pretty, and we're going to check it out because that's what I do. All sorts of goodies, cookies and cakes and just truffles, protein bars, raw sugar-free apple walnuts. Ooh, that looks really good. Banana strawberry, sugar-free too. That could really work for me. I got tiramisu. I probably should have waited for this one. Cupcakes made from plantains, botano. Ooh. Sandwiches. What am I gonna get? Maybe protein marbles and macaroons. Before I take off and close, I want to show you what I ended up getting. So we have 2 cocoa vanillas right here on the side. Then we have 2 banana with mascarpone. These are vegan and gluten-free. We have red velvet and that chocolate extravaganza in the center. Yeah, this should be yummy. It's really pretty the way they have it decorated with the plants on the walls. Thank you for coming. And then the ceiling. Beautiful decorations on the walls. Alright, now it's time for me to find my way back to Eric's. Hopefully I won't get distracted along the way, but then again, I'm actually not complaining if I do, because that's all part of my adventures. It's just exploring and letting whatever inspires me guide me. Let my heart be following my heart. Love those doors. Don't try, it won't work. Oh, this is classic. And wait for it to open. Look how that worked. And then when I close, tell me that's not cool. You see that? Don't try, it won't work. Wait for it to open. That's fun. Oh, that's beautiful inside. I don't know, restaurant obviously. Check in. Un hotel, una cafeteria. Absolutely inviting. Beautiful decor. Okay, let's find our way. I'm gonna cross the street and go back down to the Seoul area, or I may just jump on the metro now. Oh yeah, here we go. Metro. Look at that. Yes, there's always a McDonald's everywhere you go. So that is the Telefonica that Eric told me about. We just came from over there, which is that bakery I just took you to. Gluten-free. I'm gluten-free and fancy-free. Yep. Sake buffet. So So straight down brings me to Seoul. I probably will jump on the metro there. No, Tapa Tapa. Even McDonald's is fancy. Unfortunately, they got the money to put the in that fancy state. Are they fat? Cerveceria El Dorado Salon. Beautiful buildings. Alright. The garden suites got my attention. The entire building looks like it's decorated with foliage. Sweet pirate. Oh, I'm Reiner. Oh, so pretty. There's so many beautiful dogs. I've been seeing people walk around. Yeah, there's something not so good about sugar like that. Oh, another Dunkin'. That is gorgeous. Okay, so I remember that area down there when I was with Eric, coming from the other direction. Oh, that's inviting. That would probably, my guess, would bring to... I have no idea. I was just trying to read it. Look at this. Look at the top of that building. How interesting is that? I'm trying to figure it out, actually. Let's see if I can figure it out. Type down in the comments if you can figure that out. Oh, I see. It's just a cover. Because sometimes it looks like a building, but it's mural on the side. You see it? Looks like the building, doesn't it? But it's not real. It's just art. That's so good that from a distance you wouldn't know the difference. That's all a mural. It's really well done, huh? So if I recall, right over my right is the building I really loved the first day that me and Eric were walking around. No, different building, but still beautiful. Oh my gosh, seriously. I hope you're not getting as bored with these videos. I can't even imagine. Like, I'm just like, oh. I'm such a geek when it comes to architecture and just all the textures, all the sights and sounds. I couldn't be happier just walking around with my head looking up. A hotel. I'm going to show you over my shoulder. That's a hotel. How cool is that? It's Hotel El Mirador, down in the heart of Madrid. Latte. Yeah. Looks like a little bit of a construction zone up in front of me. Okay, here we go, construction zone. Oh yeah, this is definitely Seoul. So this is where I'm going to pick up the metro. Remember when Tio Pepe? This is where I was with Eric the first day I arrived. And over there on the left is the bear. You might as well walk over there so you get a better look at it. So this is like the symbol you'll see all over. This bear with the tree. The bear with the tree. It's on the tops of all the... It's a symbol like when you look down at the manhole covers. I guess it is. Let's see. Let's zoom in. I'm kind of like limited with my heavy hand to the bag. How cool is that? Oh yeah. Remember, they're all doors. They're not windows. That was the running joke and still is. Okay, we're gonna go find our way. All right, we're going to Valdecados because we went to Pinar de Chamartín last time. So, go down. Again, remember these? Oh, so beautiful. And I got a pretty good feel for where we're heading. We're going around to the left and should be in this one, Valdecados. Yeah. Trust your instinct. That feels right. Valdecados, because it's the one with the longest ride. And we are going to Pacifico, which makes life easier because I know exactly how to get there. Line 1. The guys dancing. Let's see what we got. Talent. I love watching the guys do this. This is a dedication, this is an art, this is flexibility, and trusting your body. Yeah, there you go. When I was young, I would have done something like that. I gotta work. I'm working on my flexibility to be able to do stuff. Here we go. Really thirsty because I feel like I needed to pick up a bottle of water and I forgot to. I'll get it when I get to Eric's. Pacifico, here we are. Up and out we go. Ooh, I love the wind tunnel. Oh yeah. I especially like the moving, because then I can keep walking and move faster. Gee! Yeah. And these open them automatically. Up and out we go. Sunset. Street crossing. I love it when people hold hands. It's so sweet. Mango, my mango, beautiful figgies. We got another mango. 3 is the Holy Trinity. We got the persimmons and some peaches and plums. Yeah. Did I mention I found figs? You know me. And I've already devoured a bunch of them, so. And now I'm gonna eat another mango because I needed some hydrating fruits. And I put the gluten-free stuff in the fridge. That's what we got for figgies. Lots of little figgies. Yummies. In fact, I think I could end up eating this. Yummy in my tummy. And I got persimmons. Do you know what persimmons are? I think these are considered Sharons. These are the ones that you can peel the skin off, and it tastes crunchy like texture-wise, kind of like an apple, but not quite. It has a little bit of a crispness to it. And the other ones that they have are the fuyus, and those you have to wait. They're usually rounder. These are more flatter, like this, but the other ones are more oblong and like the really good
In fact, if I go to Naples, they're like the size of the palm of your hand. They're called kaki. And these particular ones, what do they call them? Kaki is, no, not caca. Kaki in Italian means persimmon. And there are these enormous ones. They call them like the baba of the kaki. And they are just like, mwah, like brown sugar, juicy, not as sweet, but just like the texture. It's just, oh, so yummy. It's like, you can slurp it up. It's so good. And then Eric got me some plums, some stuff that's in season. We got plums and peaches. Peaches are good too. Yay! And another mango. Mango, baby. Mango, my mango. So I am going to relax for the rest of the evening because I have a Zoom call late tonight, and bid you all adieu. I think I got plenty of content for you to appreciate, and I hope you find something that resonates with you. Let me know in the comments what stands out the most to you, how it applies to you in your life, and how you are shifting and shaking during these times, because this is the time when we are getting right with our relationships with others and especially with ourselves. So enjoy, sweet dreams. I bid you adieu. I love you.